One of the things you're really good at is like keeping people's attention with memes, using all the different platforms. So can you talk to them about coming up with creative ways to keep people's attention?
You want the secrets?
Yeah.
All right, here's the secret, guys. Just close the door, please. With no further ado, the one and only CEO of Sky Diamonds, the one that made my neck hurt. He was only supposed to armbar me. I could hardly sing today, but we have Lee Haight, everybody. Raise your hands.
Give this man a round of applause. Hey.
Give me some sugar. How's it going, brother?
Let me tell you, life's about living strong, and freedom is like my purpose. Help people build character, confidence, and freedom. And, you know, this man, I don't know if you saw the truckers and what's going on in Canada, and not being able to, you know, literally leave the country unless you have certain things. And, you know, I saw this man on like protests on the streets, fighting for like what he believed in. And more importantly, I'll turn on Facebook one day and his face is like a facial full of mace. And he's just like, yeah, I'm like, this man is out of his mind. But you said that almost was a spiritual experience.
Well, we went to, like I explained it to myself, is that Canada was under tyranny. We had our fundamental rights taken away, mostly more than any country in the world. So we'd risen with the truckers in Ottawa, and once we let go of the government, everyone just kind of became peaceful assembling on the street. It's called Wellington Street. It's the street that is in front of our parliament, which is our White House. And without that evil tyranny of the government, everyone just harmonized, and people had a feeling. They didn't know what it was. They felt amazing. They felt something they've never felt before, and I like to say they found the divine creator, right? But I put it into words as they were born again Canadian. So we came together as countrymen, but we did it non-violently. So over 1 million people got together, and not one window broken, not one fight, and our government still, yeah, it was amazing. Thank you very much. And and that set precedent around the world that you can actually, you know, although we're still fighting, we could actually make an impact without being violent, which was something Canada was known for. We've always been a peaceful country. We were always a refuge for war-torn countries. People would come to Canada because of our freedoms. We were known as one of the freest countries alongside America. We're neighbors, and that's slowly being taken away, and we're still fighting for our rights, because our rights have become privileges now, and when our rights become privileges, protest becomes priority.
There you go, guys. And
yeah.
Hell yeah, give this man a round of applause. You know, I said something yesterday, I believe it in 100% of my heart, and I get it from Ed Milet. He says the only people that will make lasting change in this world is not the politicians, it's you. It's the entrepreneurs. And, you know, this man is about the example of a blue collar up on a roof outside. A lot of times maybe you've seen him on the internet making content, and a lot of you, you know, your journey into the cage is just getting in front of the camera. It's just sharing your authentic, true self. And anything could have happened last night, but we just wanted to put on a show that, you know, what risk is the down payment for success. So can you talk a little bit about, you know, how, you know,
throwing yourself out there and getting your content out there, especially just like me going in the cage with Lee last night, and not knowing what the outcome was. But the outcome is that we've bettered our relationship. I showed people that I wanted an environment that I'm not comfortable in, right? But that's most of the time when I make my content, I make people feel uncomfortable. My comedy is out there, but it actually makes people laugh. That's the whole point of my comedy. And I took a different approach for my content, right? But I started just like everybody else on a cell phone, trying to make yourself seen, right? And you can use that content for your own business. You don't have to be as extreme as my content, but if you get yourself out there and you break down those barriers, you'll become who you're supposed to be. You don't fear what other people are gonna think. Once you break that boundary, it's like you're free. Right.
We had a really interesting discussion before we got up here, because if you've ever watched, who's in here has watched BDR's content, huh? Really crazy stuff.
Thank you.
You know, they're from drinking on top of the rooftop to smoking stuff and other illicit things that we will just not, there's kids, and very crazy. And it's like, you know, is this guy elevating any kind of negativity? Is this bad for our industry? And tell him, you know, why you do that.
Well, let's be honest, like in the industry, there is, in construction in general, not just roofing, but there's always an underlying of addiction. Mm-hmm. And it's, I mean, you can either pretend it's not there, or you can talk about it.
Yep.
And I've had struggles with addiction in my younger years, and a lot of people in the industry have. And many things in your life, once you make mistakes, And if you don't ever learn to, like, I'd say laugh at your mistakes or laugh at yourself, then you're never really over it. So these videos that I make, they're actually criticizing me. And it makes me laugh. And there's other roofers and other people in the industry that like, they're recovered addicts, but they find the content funny because it makes them laugh at themselves, knowing that they're over their addiction. They've got over that hurdle.
Like
and
Paul Reed from Roofers in Recovery,
yeah.
you know, and he's got this skit, Joshy the Snowman, or
yeah.
Anyways, but Paul, you know, he's a recovering addict. You'd think this is very sensitive. You know, why does he feel like and resonate with that? What do you think?
Well, like I said before, like, so say if you can't laugh at your mistakes, then are you really over that? Or are you still holding on to something?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just like Dustin said last night when you were talking with him, like, he had to learn to laugh about getting choked out by the Brazilian guy, right? And okay, now he can move on.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I came from a family of firefighters, my dad, my brothers, my grandpa. And I mean, sometimes you see like, you have to learn to get over things that you see emotionally, and you do it with your friends, and you make certain, you know, you smile about things. You make sure that you can overcome hurdles, right? And that's just what I've done. I mean, laughter is the best medicine. My grandma always told me that. So I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, a smile on someone's face, it'll light up a room, right? And I just use my comedy and I don't think it's negative. I mean, nobody really picks on the Trailer Park Boys or any you know, movie stars for making movies about the same content. It's just that they consider me a real person. So like, how could you do that? But nobody goes and criticizes the Trailer Park Boys for drinking and driving or smoking marijuana or, you know, doing all the same domestic jokes that I do, right? So it's a sense of comedy, but I put it to a real person, which is myself, to bring it some realism, right? Shock value.
Ironically, this actually gets him jobs. I don't know how. I don't know why. But
you hired me.
It just goes to show. I did. I love your content, but so do his homeowners. They hire him to come hang out and make stupid videos on their roof.
It honestly, it happens more than none. Like a lot of my clients now are like, because I have a small crew and I work, you know, a small business.
Some of them are here, right?
Yeah.
Roofer girl around? Where's
Roofer girl's here. She's out back working on our booth for Prime Grip. So that's how I got involved with working for a tool manufacturer. So I make my own line of tools now. Yeah. I develop tools. I help sell tools. I'm here branding the tool.
I'm just
companies.
the tool.
We have a production company. There's my partner there. Mark's my production company. We make commercials for them now. So that all started with my blatant rude comedy. That was the door opener. That's you just breaking down the barrier. And then after that, it just goes, you're being yourself. Once you're not afraid of what people think, you can move forward very quickly.
I love that, man. Give this man a round of applause there.
Thank you.
So everybody here really needs to learn how to grow YouTube. YouTube for me was something I only took serious maybe a year and a half ago. I was Facebook and Instagram dependent. Well, Facebook and Instagram goes away, YouTube is forever. And you have grown your YouTube to what, 60,000 subscribers?
I think it's at 47,000. I've done it, and that's my second
That's
channel.
very hard to do.
That's my second channel. All my channels are because my comedy gets kicked off because people think it's real. They're like, this guy's causing self-harm, and then they flag it and it gets removed, right? I'm like, man, if it had like a you know, Sony label on it, it would stay. But since it looks so real, people then gets removed, right?
Yeah.
But if I can make a comment here, if you guys are looking at growing a content and something that builds your confidence quickly is TikTok. It's one of the largest platforms. It might not be the best, but you can put a video out and it might go viral because there's way more users on it. So, and that's one thing. Once you get that confidence of people seeing it and liking it, you kind of it catches you to do more. So TikTok is an easy one to start with. And I do TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. I got like 7 different platforms with 2 different people. I have Mr. Freedom and then BDR. So I literally have like 12 platforms.
Now, many of you maybe trying to keep your engagement of your people, and maybe you're not, but you're gonna hear about the one big thing that I do that makes everything unnecessary, that is hire new people. Maybe you see on social media I'm creating content to recruit, but the reality is that, you know, you're out there putting in content. One of the things you're really good at is like keeping people's attention with memes, using all the different platforms. So can you talk to them about, you know, like coming up with creative ways to keep people's attention?
You want me the secrets?
Yeah.
All right, here's the secret, guys. Let's close the door, please. So it's just gonna sound cheesy, but so you're always on social media, you always see memes. So say if you see a funny meme, and all I do is cut and paste the word roofing in front of something else, and then I put big time hashtag, or you can put your company like Sky Diamonds and throw it out there. Yeah. It takes you 5 minutes, Photoshop on your phone, and you literally just, it's plagiarism at its finest, but that's what the whole internet's made of, right? So people
I call it the swagger jack.
Yeah, everyone does it, so just do it to, yeah, thank you. But it's as simple as that. It's just being active with your content. So stuff that's out there that's funny, use it for yourself. No one's gonna say, oh, you stole that. Well, everyone steals that, right? So that's what I basically do. I find a funny meme, and I put the best Amherford tag on it, and I might even put my photo in it. And I use, it's just something to stay active. And memes like are some of my best content. Some of them will get like 500,000 shares. And because people more likely share a meme, it takes them 2 seconds to read, and they go on to the next one, and rather than a video, right? So having those memes mixed in with your actual video content, and that, you know, and people like humor, so you can express yourself a little differently, and memes are really associated with humor usually. So people accept that humor. If it's a professional page, even if it's professional, they'll still accept humor. So it's an easy way to share content.
Yeah, and so, guys, he has a lot more like engagement and followers than even I do, and it's from a completely, different perspective that his content is created, but you gotta learn from everybody. And ironically, in this journey for a fight, you creating content about getting over addiction, you had to focus more on training, and what was that for your own well-being, and what do you think that did for you?
Like between me and you, the training we did, I think it was remarkable. Like the idea of what you have set here, I think it could save so many people in the industry. Like having these nights where we get together and people challenge themselves, and even if they come in with hard feelings, you're going to leave with the integrity of a fighter, and you're a gentleman after, right? Just like they are in the UFC, you have that respect level. And then if you're going into the fight, you're going to cut drinking, you're going to cut back smoking. It's the idea of fighting. Some people might say, oh, that's, but actually in reality, it's helping people. So people getting involved in this kind of activity, it's one of the hardest sports ever. It drains your energy in that octagon, just straight up. It's a tough go, wrestling, and I couldn't imagine what those other guys were going through, like kicking each other and knocking each other out. Like kudos to those guys. But it really grounds you, and it makes you focus on something rather than what you're falling down with, like your addiction or smoking or anything. It makes you focus on positivity, and as you sweat and as you train, it betters your body, betters your soul.
Yeah, and you know what? When he was asked about this, it was an immediate yes. It's a commit now, figure it out later. He knew he was gonna have to train. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
And, I want to recognize my friend Patrick right here, who another time, his opponent had canceled, and he was coming down here, and I'm like, hey, man, the guy you're fighting is very athletic, and he's like, dude, I'm coming down there, I'm going to war, and there's nothing stopping me. So let's give him a round of applause as well. See, no matter what the circumstance is, it's putting that bar on yourself. Commit to this bar, and then you become the best version of yourself in between. It's the journey that is really fun, and then when you get there, then you just got to move the bar.
Like a rematch.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I love that. Yeah. All right. You got to catch up on them hands. We'll put
we'll get there.
The gloves on.
Yeah, sure.
You might need back down. Too. But that being said, guys, I'm very grateful because this whole world has come together, blue collar entrepreneurs, fighters, regular people. There's just all this impact in this room, and we're fixing to really rise up because, our next speaker is going to talk to us about our higher purpose for the weekend, giving back to families who paid the ultimate price, folds of honor. And, speaking with Dan last night, I'm just really just blown away at the alignment and synchronicity between our two missions. Here we are in a fight sort of for a different kind of freedom in our entrepreneur journey, freedom of time, and big time you're on the roof, and you represent a lot of the roofers that are either selling the jobs or building the jobs, or maybe they're in the back office doing paperwork. But if you can assign someone to do the job and they can do it 70% as well as you, your job as an entrepreneur is to delegate. And sometimes it's very hard. We get in our own way. So talk about sort of the struggle, because BDR makes a really good return when he sells the job. He's in an area there's not a lot of labor. He's in a very small town in Canada, and so he's out there selling at a high price, making a big margin, but a little bit of, tell us about your struggles, taking the tool belt off and trying to build a team and what you've done through your journey a little bit.
It's always a struggle building a team, especially now. Like, I mean, talking about what happened over the pandemic, our government really knocked down the workforce. They gave out a CERB, was a money payment for everybody, and everyone just got, you know what happens when you get lazy, it's hard to get back on your feet again. So that kind of happened with the workforce, I found. So it's really hard to find a reliable roofing crew, and there's no unionized roofers in Canada. So I still do a lot of my metal roofing. So Samantha, the roofer girl, they'll help me with the asphalt, so I have them work on the asphalt side of the industry. But I'm still hands-on on my metal roofing. I still love that part of it. But more of the business end of it, I kind of went to production. So I started delegating commercials for Primeline with my partner, Mark. So we're still in the roofing industry, but now I'm doing media production. I mean, really unique, right? It's something that I never thought I would get into. But I honestly love roofing. And I think now that I've started the character, the best damn roofer, I can't quit roofing. Because like everyone's like, well, how, like, you're not the best damn roofer anymore, right? So a lot of my content relies as me being on the roof and as being a sales rep now for these companies. So I'm selling the metal, I'm selling the tools. I got to be showing the tools. Now they have a production company, I got to make the commercials. So I'm still on. I haven't left the roof yet, but I've just made this really unique business around my profession rather than leaving it.
You can't leave the roof because the roof's where the best content is.
Yeah, right.
When you're on the roof, don't you get like 10x more views?
Yeah, roofers love me on the roof. I mean, it is what it is, right? Because they're roofers. My content comes from actually like they love to watch the content, right? Yeah. They for some strange reason, roofers love watching roofers roof on YouTube.
It's fun.
I don't get it. Like you come home from a hot day in the sun, like, you know what I'm gonna do, crack a beer and watch this asshole roof for a couple hours. Like, what? It blows my mind. But there's literally 200 million views on a guy, like the fastest shingler in the world, and like every roofer's watched it 12 times.
Right.
And so that content, I mean, there's an idea if you guys want to create content, just start laying shingles and videotape it. Yeah. Extra 1,000 views for sure.
No, I mean, I seriously am paying attention to a lot of these construction accounts, like specifically on TikTok with the short form content, documenting all of your installs, the ice and water shields, when you're doing a diamond roof, he has a metal roof that's a really special top tier metal roof like Teal Court or Workhouse. Tell us a little bit about your metal and how you...
Diamond Roof I started working with about 10 years ago. I found them, they're Wingham, Ontario. It was a small company. They're father and son. He manufactures it himself. They developed them themselves. We've got some videography of the actual plant. They're engineers, so they've created everything themselves. It's basically 3 people run the shop, but it's an automated machine shop that works off robotic arms, and they've really created this amazing environment that they make these shingles with, very unique. And the shingle's a diamond-shaped shingle that's very unique as well. So it's more of like a like the 1800 style, right? And of shingle, and they brought it back to life. And I mean, I saw it for the first time, and I'm like, I've never seen this shingle. It captivated me. So I was like, I want to sell one. So I sold my first 3 roofs for nothing. You buy the material, I'll put it on for free. That's how I sold, because I wanted it so bad, right?
Nice.
And now I'm their international sales rep. We sell it all the time. We're actually working on a new production line called Roofing University, where we're going to show the installs of it. And that's the thing. If you guys are installing products, is when you're doing your installs, videotape a little bit of it, and then for your content, you hashtag it, put their company's name in, and simple stuff like that will grow your brand or grow your company just in that. And it doesn't take a long video to do so, right?
And that's why I was talking about YouTube to begin with, because YouTube stays forever. And if you document these and hashtag them correctly, then in your area, you will get to the top of Google. And it's just consistency. I think I posted my 300th video to YouTube, and I'm like celebrating because I'm getting 50 subscribers a day. But this guy, how many videos have you posted to YouTube?
Well, I've had over 1,000 deleted because my first time went down.
There's levels to this shit.
I've had over a million. I've had over a million deleted followers. We dropped your mic, brother. A million deleted followers on YouTube over the years. Just because the content, I didn't really know the community standards. I mean, I'm a roofer. I don't follow those, So. But going back to the diamonds, right? So like if you guys are running a business, a roofing company, finding a unique product to sell is another thing to grow your business. That's why I chose diamond, because I didn't see it anywhere, right? So if you can brand yourself with a unique product that you can have it as your own almost, right? Like diamond's not my own product, but people recognize me with that product because I've launched it, right? There's lots of new products coming out there. So find one of those products and help that grow your business as well. You use products in the industry to grow your brand and grow your company.
A lot of people here struggle. depending on insurance, they want to sell for a bigger price. There's about 4 ways I can help you 16x your business. And I'm going to be featuring those ways throughout this whole presentation. But one of those ways is help you sell for a higher margin, help you get more per square, help you raise your average transaction value. How many here offer metal roofing with every asphalt shingle? Wow.
We need more hands.
Let's give those guys a round of applause. You'll find out here a little bit later that just by asking for the upgrade, there's a percentage of people that are always going to check the box. There's always going to be that person, like me, that wants the most expensive thing you got. I want the best, the top of the line. I want highest quality. I'm that connoisseur. Hey, yeah, I want that. You know, it's kind of like 2 Chainz. It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, it works. That's why I always sell metal. I only do metal installs now because there's enough people there that they know me. They come to me now. Well, I want that expensive roof. Well, that guy will do it, right? And you get known in the business for it, and then business will just start coming your way. And people will look for you.
I would say the easiest roof to sell because someone is excited or Googling a roof or excited about maybe the benefits of a roof is going to be a metal roof. Because someone that's getting an asphalt roof, they're probably just thinking, oh, this is going to be the same type of roof. It's no big deal. It's not that special. But if you're really researching a metal roof, looking at different types of metal roofing, whether it's Tilcor, Warehouse, diamond shingles, you're going to Google, and if you have an interesting YouTube video that's trending that comes up and this guy watches it and they like your personality, they're going to call you, and then what do you think that lead's going to be like?
Well, that lead, they already know you. So when they call you, you've already broken the ice. So they've already watched you, they like you. So all those things are already set there. So it's pretty much an easier sell than, a blind phone call.
Knocking on a door. Yeah. And that's what many of us do. We depend on door to door, we depend on telemarketing leads, we get word of mouth referrals. But if you're using, y'all gonna write this down right now, okay? Because it's in my speech, okay? You have to duplicate or your dreams die. And one of the easiest ways to duplicate is through digital duplication. If I look at my YouTube and we compare how many hours each other has viewed, we could pull out our phones, pull out our YouTube studio. Mine might say 30,000 hours I was viewed last month in YouTube alone. His might say 200,000 hours viewed. That means that his content is being consumed by that many people. And that's an opportunity to make lasting change. Customers, build know, like, and trust, build a brand. And the idea is y'all have to learn how, if people don't know you, they won't flow you. How do you get people to know, like, and trust you before you make them an offer? How do you do this? This gets you more leads. This is another way that you grow your business. So you look at him in his videos and you think, wow, this guy's just making crazy videos, but he's talking about these marketing concepts that you have to really have to get the American dream. And so, BDR, what's the future? What do you see your vision? What's the next steps for your platform, for you? What do you think?
Well, you know what I mean? I think I've done comedy so long, I think people are like, they like when they see me.
Mm-hmm. The real you?
Yeah, the real me. They're like, because you know what I mean? They've seen that already. Like, they get to know you. He's not really drinking Listerine for breakfast. Like, not today, folks, right? So I think I'd see myself more of a mentor and educating people in the products and how to sell the products and how to install the products. Like I said earlier, we're working on the new project. It's called Roofing University. And I really want to get to teach people how to sell it, what to sell, and then how to install it. Because one of the things is you have a roofing company, but you have shinglers. They don't know how to install steel, and the first thing you want to teach them is to do steel, because if they don't know how to do it, it's going to cost you a lot of money if they make those mistakes, because the product's worth way more than asphalt itself, right? So that's where I see myself finishing my career as more of an educator rather than an installer. But I still got I got a decade on the roof yet. I'm only 40. I might look like I'm 50. That's just because all the drinking and smoking, right?
Hey, look, all this is, man, is one big recruiting party. We're going to get him involved in Sky Diamonds, and this roofing university is a part of a new initiative. I believe that the installation training for my roofers is the most important thing for quality control increase. And what we've done this year is implement new production protocols to ensure 5-star reviews, part of which is this installation training. And for his metal roofing, the one thing about content is he makes it funny, so people will watch it. I make training, and sometimes y'all don't want to train. Everybody here knows that they can get ripped in a gym, right? Everybody knows they can get 6-pack abs if they do sit-ups. But who woke up and went to the gym and did sit-ups? The reality is that knowing is half the battle. So what we're gonna be doing is collaborating with Roofing University, having his installation videos inside of Sky Diamonds University, having him create content, training content with me to keep it interesting, but I'm also bringing him into my content because my mission is to create my fun stuff that gets to the masses, because I wanna get our industry known to everybody as something that can help them level up, that really is a vehicle for the middle class to get the American dream. And that takes creating a show. This might seem a bit of like a circus. Who likes the circus here at the Blue Collar American Dream Conference? Getting beer bottles broke over our head. We're getting in a cage. Jocko was saying, man, I ain't never seen a personal development conference like this. So was Dan Rooney. He's like, these guys are crazy. And so, you know, that's really what you got to think about, how to apply to your business. These principles, it looks like all fun and games, but the truth is it's got your attention. When you can take someone and grab their attention, then you can have the opportunity to make lasting change in their life. And the market is going to return the value. He's creating value because he's making people feel good. And so the market returns it, even though it comes in unorthodox ways. Primeline's tool sponsorships, Diamond National Brand Ambassador, getting paid to speak at conferences. This ain't the first time he's done this. And so, guys, give this man a round of applause for the Canadian American dream.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, brother.
Bring her in, buddy.
Appreciate it, brother.
Bring her in, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.